He wrings his hands together, trying to find the right words. You see, they don't hate like we hate. We don't even know what hate is. We have one word for hate. They have... His voice drops. Thousands upon thousands. Their meanings twisted and piled like bodies. That's why they fight. Where is the blood war fought? Plenty of places, usually the lower plains. Anywhere along the river Styx, the 9 layers of Bator, the 4 furnaces of Gehenna, the grey waste, cold red Carceri, the prison plain, and the pike and near endless well of evil, that's the abyss. Somehow, the grey waste sounds familiar to you. Tell me about the grey waste. Also called the glooms, he shrugs, then shivers, as if by reflex. Grey in every sense of the word. Colors burn your eyes there, but they shout, are too loud, and your dreams are piled to the surface and poured onto the ground, lost forever. Only the night hags rule there. The grey ladies are the wastes, the night hags. How does one survive the blood war? You want to know how to survive the blood war? 3 things, Cutter. He holds up a maimed hand with only 2 fingers. First off, you stay the pike out of it. Secondly, keep yourself the pike and nails out of it. And lastly, you stay the bloody pike and sod pike out of it. If any part of the war rolls your way, let your imagination give your bum a kick and run as far as fast as you can. If you can't run, then lie really still and pray it passes you by. He pauses for a moment. So there's no place it don't touch, and there's almost nowhere you can run to get away from it. If there's nowhere to run, why aren't there fiends fighting in Sigil? Now, Cutter, look, they have fought here a few times. Sometimes we get a little spillover from the blood war. Our Lady of Pain, bless her steel-reddened heart, pours out the fires. Some of the time. There's been times, some horrifying drizzle on yourself, you're so sodden scared times, when they've smashed and burnt and clawed their way through the whole sodden city blocks and Sigil before she decides to clean house. He clucks his tongue and winks cynically. She ain't always as keen as on stopping the blood war as it might seem, see? Why don't the fiends just take Sigil? He laughs, but it turns into a sputtering cough. Don't get me wrong now, both the Tanari and the Batezu want Sigil fierce. 'Tis the most precious staging ground in the Pican multiverse. The cage is the city adores, and connects everywhere. You can't ignore it, and if you're serving in the blood war and you want to win, you gotta have it. The man coughs again. 'Tis just the fiends aren't gonna get it while the lady's in charge. She's tough as nails, her blades will cut you deeper than any fiend's fang, and the knots the fiend's stems like you wouldn't believe. One quiet lady, her hands tucked in her sleeves, holding back the blood war all by herself. He laughs bitterly. But fiends are still allowed in Sigil. Oh, damnably certain. They can't brawl in the streets. Too much. She has neutral ground. Sigil allows them to rattle their bone boxes without trying to murder each other. Sometimes they'll chat it up with each other ear. The peace don't stay that way for long, though. Also, just as they can't butcher each other in the streets don't mean spies. Recruitment and backstabbing still don't go on here. They fight battles with lies and words, Burke. Sometimes 'tis all in the bluster and blather, and there's safe houses about, too. Places where they can cool their talons afore the next skirmish. And they like to recruit here, too, looking for boys fresh off the plains with a little greed in their hearts, that they can make part of their glorious army. He stops speaking to peer closely at you. Mayhap they recruited you once. You look like you've tasted the war. The war leaves a scar on you, Cutter, you'd know, and you'd know you never want to go back. Your temples begin to throb painfully as you consider the man's words. A memory begins to surface. Okay, this is what I was waiting for, going through all those questions. Try to find out something. The lecture hall begins to fade from view as terrible visions begin to seep up from the base of your mind. Visions of a place where seasons are like nothing you've ever felt or heard or tried to shut out. A place where prayers go unheard, falling like stones to the earth. Vein-colored lightning flashes across things that were once sky, but now boil beneath your feet and scream when you brush against them. You run at the head of a large band of men, passing through dark canyons where the walls quiver moistly and beat like a heart, wearing only your own blood as clothing. At last you stand in a place where the ashen-gray terrain slithers like a mass of snakes, coiling around your ankles and whispering your evil to the earth. You march endlessly, silently, through this colorless land, where fatigue seems to live and hunt you like a shade over the wastes, whipping you with despair. In time, you and the ragged men who follow you come upon a hag sitting upon a mound of gigantic, writhing larvae, poking at one of the slime-colored things with a broken talon. You indicate for one of the men to run forward and speak with her. The hag's grating voice carries to your ears. "I would speak with him," she said, then cackled. Her eyes gleam as she points you out to the man. "The handsome one that leads your ragged column. I would speak with him, and that is all you can recall." You feeling all right there? Yeah, so do the fiends recruit often? He nods grimly. You can be sure of that. Sigil's the best source of fodder on the plains. Beats milking planets of all their prime inhabitants. Too much work. Already asked about surviving the war. Let's get hired in. Details. Okay, give a little more on the Blood War itself. If I were to boil it down, it'd be this. The Blood War has been going on damn near forever, and will keep going on until damn near forever itself gets penned in the dead book. The Tenari, the champions of chaos and evil, are trying to stomp the green-colored dung out of the Batezu, the champions of law and evil. They butcher each other over how each of them thinks evil should be, if you can believe that. What would happen if someone stopped the Blood War? You can't make any pickin' difference in the war. It's too sodden big. You're a stone, a pebble in an ocean that's a pebble in another ocean, which is a pebble in another ocean, and so on and so forth, until the stench cows come home. As a pebble, your goal is to be not noticed and sink to the bottom with the rest of the dregs. If you could make a difference, which you can't, you shouldn't try, 'cause then the planes would tumble on down. He holds up his hands like pillars. The Blood War is like a big bloody support beam propping up the planes. Kicked down, and a lot of the planes had come tumbling down with it. A lot of baggage rests on the back of the war. He suddenly brays like a donkey, laughing bitterly. The biggest, nastiest pack animal on the plains. He grins cynically. Besides, as some say, war's great for business. He laughs hollowly, then looks as if he could suddenly cry. Never mind that. Another question? You alright? You seem pained. The man smiles sadly. Listen, Cutter, I'm no priest, nor would I want to be one. But hear this. Keep evil out of your heart. When you die with evil in your heart, your spirit falls into the lower planes, where you become a petitioner. Any guesses as to what happens then? Petitioners in the Abyss and Bator get twisted into foot soldiers, and get to fight in the Blood War for all eternity. He chuckles, shaking his head. So that's the dark as to why Batezu and Tenari try and corrupt all they touch. Of course, they need more troops. Eat this. Keep evil from your art, Burke. Started. Tenari. The man nods. The Tenari better pay better than Batezu, but you need to be three-faced and have a bunch of eyes sprinkled all over your body, because you can't ever turn your back on them. They're chaos, the ones with whim and whimsy in their hearts. Trust her, upholding their word, aren't high on their list. He sniffs, then shrugs. They don't care what happens, so long as something happens, and it is evil. Mostly they attack the Batezu to keep from killing each other. Maybe about the Batezu. The man nods. They don't usually pay as much as the Tenari, but they don't break their written word. They're smart, though several hundredfold smarter, and they've been making contracts since time began. They know how to peel someone with words. They do. Sign and most likely you'll be peeled and hung to... Oops. And hung to dry on their legions.